A single material most people have never heard of has suddenly become one of the world's most important battlegrounds. Today, President Donald Trump signed an executive order imposing a 15% tariff on imported products made from polysilicon. At first, it sounds like another trade policy, but this decision is really about one question: who controls the future of technology? Polysilicon is one of the essential materials used to manufacture semiconductors, the tiny chips inside smartphones, AI servers, military systems, and countless electronic devices. It is also a key material used in modern solar panels. That means one supply chain now connects artificial intelligence, clean energy, and national security. And according to Washington, that supply chain has become a strategic vulnerability. The executive order does more than introduce a tariff. It also sets minimum import prices for polysilicon and related products after a national security investigation examined overseas production. Those measures are expected to take effect in December. At the same time, the United States says it will introduce incentives to strengthen domestic production. The goal is not simply to reduce imports, it is to rebuild an industry that American officials believe has been weakened for years. According to President Trump, foreign companies have steadily reduced the position of U.S. producers in the polysilicon industry. The numbers tell a dramatic story. In 2005, the United States produced around 50% of the world's polysilicon. By 2024, that share had fallen to less than 2%. During the same period, China built what the administration describes as a near monopoly over global polysilicon production. That shift changed more than the market. It changed how Washington views one of the world's most important industrial materials, because polysilicon is not only used in consumer electronics, it is also used in military equipment and other advanced technology. As the race for artificial intelligence accelerates, every stage of the semiconductor supply chain has become more valuable. And for the United States, depending on overseas production is no longer seen as just an economic issue. It has become a national security concern. But if Washington is trying to rebuild its supply chain, how will China respond? China did not stay silent. The Chinese embassy in Washington has said the new measures would seriously disrupt trade between the world's two largest economies. It accused the United States of abusing state power to target Chinese businesses, and it warned that protectionism would not make American industry more competitive. Beijing also said it would take the necessary steps to protect its own companies. That response shows this is no longer just a dispute over one material. It is part of a much larger competition over critical technology supply chains. According to the executive order, President Trump accepted recommendations from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to introduce both the 15% tariff and minimum import prices. The administration argued these measures are designed to protect American manufacturers facing growing competition from China's chip industry. For Washington, this is about reducing dependence before it becomes a bigger strategic risk. Because once a supply chain that becomes critical, losing control over it can affect far more than business. It can influence technological leadership, industrial resilience, and national security. The companies expected to benefit inside the United States include Hemlock Semiconductor and Wacker Chemie, two of the country's main polysilicon producers. At the same time, the government plans to support domestic production through additional incentives. The objective is clear: produce more of this critical material at home instead of relying on overseas suppliers. But this decision arrives during an already tense period in U.S. and China relations. The competition over artificial intelligence has made advanced semiconductors one of the world's most valuable strategic assets, and polysilicon sits near the very beginning of that supply chain. Analysts quoted by Chinese state media describe the new tariff as another step in Washington's effort to reduce China's role in critical technology industries. It also follows previous American restrictions affecting products such as drones, humanoid robots, and other technology imports from China. Beijing has responded with measures of its own. This week, China announced tighter export control on drones. It also launched a national security review into imported printers and copiers. Both governments increasingly describe trade decisions through the language of national security. That shift changes the nature of global competition. Countries are no longer focused only on selling finished products. They are competing for control over the materials, factories, and supply chains that make those products possible. And that may be the most important part of this story. The real battle is not over one tariff, it is over who builds the technologies that will shape the decades ahead. As these measures take effect in December, their impact will be measured not only in trade figures, but also in how nations secure the industries they now consider essential. Because in today's world, the race for global influence often begins long before a computer chip is ever made.